It's been a while since I got any time in the garage at the 1980 Opel Kadett Historic Rally Car project. It's been a busy start for Vantage Point Video filming the motor racing season, especially now that we're live streaming, but this should ultimately buy back a little bit more time in the garage during the weeks. There's a little bit of flash rusting around the bare metal of the welds I last did on the car, so I went cleaning these up. As I went past that handbrake cable bracket, it made me think I've just had to repair an identical one on our 1995 Astra, which peeled back like the lid of a sardine can. So I'll put a couple of extra welds on this front and back to prevent that happening during enthusiastic swings into hairpins. I'll wind back these bolts that I have preserving the threads in my seat support mounting brackets so that I can clean up the metal behind them and then get a bit of paint on in these areas as well. That's looking through the gear lever aperture. I'll do the same for the four bolts that hold down that whole assembly. The threads are all nice and loose because I haven't let dirt or welder spit get down into them, so loosening with a spanner and then they're just finger tight. But now you can see why I just wanted them out of the way for a bit of access and clean up all the backs of these welds. I will be putting a primer that can go straight onto bare metal on all of this, but the more paint the merrier, so I'll use a bit of zinc primer on these now. It'll still be a while before I get to primering the shell, but it's really exciting to be thinking about paint now. We're moving into that phase. So just looking at this area under the gear selector, I discovered there's like a reinforcing section all along the length of that, and there is a join in the tunnel. So this is a great opportunity to put some strength in the middle of the car longitudinally. So I'm clearing off the top side of that, and I am going to stitch weld all down along the tunnel here. This will add a bit of rigidity right into this important central core of the car. Welding underneath, going from the slightly thick plate to the thinner floor, find pulsing the welder still best, and you can see my progress here from the top side, and yeah, it wouldn't be hard to burn all the way through there. Having the paint cleared off their top side prevented me having to hop out and extinguish small fires over and over again. Cleaning out just a little bit more of the sealant from between the two pressings, trying to keep it as clean as possible. I'll be glad to be finished welding underneath. Maybe on some future project I'll have a spit and be able to work on these things from the top. Making sure the metal is all nice and close together and working my way along. Then I saw the exhaust brackets and I thought, yeah, maybe it's going to take an awful lot more bouncing about than normal, so a little bit extra weld from front and back could prevent a failure in the future. That's the weld there on the back of the handbrake cable support. Little fire there. There's quite a bit of underseal in this area. And that's the rear exhaust mounting. Things like this letting go during a rally could spoil a whole weekend, maybe even a championship. I'll clean up all these welds immediately and continue on following all the older ones, and then I'll put that zinc primer on them. Feel we're in a little bit of a turning point in the project now as we're starting to put a small bit of paint on. I'm feeling good about the strength we put into these suspension areas. And then stiffening up the floor. It's improved the whole shell. That was the awkward rear support for the driver's seat, which was coming into this area around where the handbrake is mounted. So I reinforced the entire plate that the handbrake is connected to. This is the underside of that transverse cross member that the original seat mountings were based on. I'm looking forward to cracking on with the bodywork now.